I just got so unbelievably lost in that outpost. I think I'm going to redo the intro. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Yeah, like, did you know there's like a huge section of Tanakai Temple, like up there, like under the icon that you can walk around in that's completely useless and pointless to go to? Anyway, we're coming back out here to speak to Miku? What? I thought we were supposed to meet our assassin friend. Oh, it's because I'm not in hard mode. Jesus Christ, I'll see you in a sec. There you are. I thought you'd done a runner on me. So we walk over to Miku and she has news for us. She says, "Well, if it isn't my friend the Maelstrom, what a nice name. I've heard about how things have been going for you, and I have to say, even I'm impressed. Most people would be crushed between so many forces." Yeah, well, not us. We've kind of done a lot. And then she laughs. If you keep this up, you're going to start making me look bad by comparison. Either way, I've got some interesting news for you. Oh, what is it you found? An opportunity, she says. Raiko believes that the Amphat and Jade Brotherhood have been routed. It's likely that she's going to set her sights on a new target. You don't gather as much momentum as she has, only to come this far and stop. This is good news for us, because she's going to do another rally to sing the praises of how the Ministry of Purity has chased off another evil. Before these speeches, Ashu goes to Tanakai Temple to pay respects and seek guidance and blessing from the ancestor spirits. Oh, I do love it when they mention the spirits. Raiko has really made him into a figure for the people to rally around. She has taken on an almost religious quality as people look to him as the survivor. It's funny to think of, to me. I still remember him as the little brat that hid behind his big sister when he got scared. Huh. Jinai is still missing, but getting to Ashu will be just as good. Maybe even better. I can't believe he wants to be there, and I just need to see him again. It's been so long, and he's the only family I've got left. And, well, think of it this way. We'd be taking the Ministry of Purity's figurehead right out from underneath them. Who knows what kind of damage it will do to their reputation. But it certainly has style, daring. It's both a cunning and ridiculous plan. What's not to love? That sounds like our best option. Removing him is for the best. It can't be healthy for a boy of that age to be forced into that situation. And if he's gone, it may help staunch some of the people's fervour. The degree to which they're zealously following has gone beyond dangerous. Still, you certainly have a flair for the dramatic, don't you? Miku says, "I am the hero of my own life, and if that's the part I have to play, then I might as well make it look good. Sometimes, what people see of a person becomes the truth of who they actually are. But we should make our preparations to go. Speak to me when you're ready. I can take us into Tanakai quietly." Okay, so we can accept the quest, and she says, it sums up the plan, I guess. "I'll take us to Tanakai Temple. We can get to Ashu, but we'll want to be careful. I'd like to try to avoid any more lives lost if possible. Let's try to knock the guards out and leave it at that if we can. There will be ways of preventing them from pursuing us. I guess you could say I know the temple very well. I'll show you once we're there." You'll see we get really weird reward here. Gold Zaishin coin? They start doing this. I don't know why. In parts 2 and 3 of Winds of Change, Arena just start throwing really random ass rewards at the players. I think it might be because they'd settled on how many like commendations or whatever people would generally get from the end of completing all the quests, so that they could get pretty much one end game weapon. But they kind of had too many quests for that or something. I'm not sure, because it still doesn't match up because of side quests. But they seem to have padded out some quests with weird rewards like a gold Zaishin coin, and you start to get weird materials as well later on that just fill up your inventory, and it's a little bit annoying. Anyway, understood. I'll aim for the kneecaps. There's actually someone on the wiki that was asking for a trivia reference to be made, that was a reference to in the knee from the Skyrim meme, which is just a bit ridiculous. But anyway, but I actually liked killing everything that gets in my way. No, we're going to aim for the kneecaps. Let's do it. When your eyes wander, so does your mind. Focus on the task that is at hand. We have a very short window of time to reach Ashu. Are you ready to go? Lead the way. Alright, so yeah, this is quite cool actually. I very much enjoy this quest. Not so much the gameplay, but the actual story here I think is quite cool. So Ashu is set up as this thing that Reiku's using. She's just using this child as, oh, this is the boy survive. I still haven't removed Death's charge. I'm not going to use it though. I'm going to try my best not to use it. She's kind of using him as, oh, this is the boy wonder. He survived, and I can make Kantha survive too, and kind of making him this figurehead when really he's just a kid. And I find it funny because she actually, wait, has that been revealed? I'm not sure. What has it been revealed? What her relationship, like how she knows Ashu? Has that been revealed? Tell me in the comments. I'll ignore that for now. But anyway, right. So we're going to keep moving through. So Miku says, "Be on the lookout for any hidden switches in these rooms. They'll shut the gates to the room behind us, so let's make sure we're all together." Right, let's talk about the gameplay now. Okay, so you get these hidden switches, you can activate them like so, and if you look back there, you'll see it closes the gate down there. Miku says, "Once the guards come to, they'll try to bring reinforcements. It's in our best interest to close a few doors to slow them down." So I quite like the gameplay of this because you can see there's more guards coming in through that gate now. I love the gameplay of this quest because I should not have stood in that starburst. I'm hoping everyone will be alright here, by the way. Generally, you only have to fight like individual mobs of Ministry at a time, so it's not too difficult, except for maybe a little bit later on, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is very reminiscent of when you actually come here for the mission. In Tanakai Temple, though, it's the opposite. You're opening the gate, and you're the one doing the pursuing. You're chasing Shiro as he tries to kill the spirit of Vizu, if you remember. And now we're doing the opposite. We're the ones leading the attack. We're the ones assaulting the temple, and there are other people chasing us behind. And before, while we were opening all of the gates that Shiro had closed behind him, now we're running along and we're the ones closing them in the first place. I really like that. I really do, and I'm sure that ArenaNet did that intentionally. But you got to be quick, basically. I've never been in a situation during this quest where I've been running along and I've actually been swarmed by the enemies behind me, because these gates, even though you close them, the Ministry will reopen them, just like we managed to reopen them during the storyline of Factions. So you have to be careful with that. But I've never been so slow that's failed. Hey, you might see me be too slow this time. But that's kind of the way that this is working here. You kill the groups, and then you have to run forward and hit all of the hidden switches. The switches don't appear unless you hover your mouse directly over their locations. But it's still quite easy to find them anyway, because on your mini-map you'll see the location of like a small ally on your compass. Wiki feels the need to state that you can shadow step to the switches. I don't think you'd have to do that because time is that tight. But I suppose it's something to consider if you really want. But yeah, just keep activating the switches. Also, I'm not 100% sure whether it can be that your heroes can be caught behind the gate or something, or a player can. That's also never happened to me, but it's something to be wary of anyway. I can't say either way whether that actually will cause a problem, because sometimes in this game you can walk through a wall but not the other way through it, so they might have added that kind of detail into here. But in any case, I would still be careful of that. And that's kind of just what's going on here. Miku's still speaking. She says Tanakai Temple has changed so much since the last time I've seen it. Everything about it seems so smaller now. Everything is less vibrant. Intruders, says the Ministry Mage. Stop them before they get to the survivor. It's really cool. I like it. I like. It's kind of how Shiro would feel, except we have more naval intentions. So the ally this time is marked in that pile of rubble there. You can hit the switch and just keep moving. And yeah, that's all there really is. The thing is with this quest, just like the actual mission itself, this is quite a long. Wait, is the switch there already? Okay, all right. Well, we can hit the switch before we've even fought the next group in this room. Let's do that. So, this is a little bit like the mission in that it's quite long, and honestly, I don't really have much to talk about. We're going into another. I did that little end speech at the end of the last episode where I was like, "Ooh, who are the Ministry going to target now?" We're not seeing this time. We're just going to try and grab Ashu here and actually undercut the Ministry before they can do any other harm to anyone. So that will come forward. I will warn you guys though. This is another situation when we get to that part of the story that I wasn't very happy with. I was really excited about part 2 of Winds of Change because of what's going to be coming up, probably the next quest, I think. But in the end, it just was not a very compelling story that they'd written, and I will probably bitch about it when we get to it. But yeah. So I honestly, I kind of started filming this episode a little bit worried about what I was going to say. But, oh look, there we go, I used Death Charge. Am I going to die? I am going to die for it. Look. It's so simple. Come on, get back. Just don't use Death Charge. It's really that easy. Yeah, so I do have a bit of news. A lot of people will have been having this happen. I don't know whether I've actually announced it on the videos. I bought the Collector's Edition. You know, I think I talked in a video, actually, about how I thought the Collector's Edition wasn't really worth it, actually, because I'm not really into statues, and really you're spending a lot more money for the statue. But I do, since I've been working, and even though I've had this month off, I've actually been getting paid. I've been getting paid less, but I have been getting paid for it. So I figured, hey, look, I've got that little bit of extra money. Why don't I do myself a service and get it? Really, I got the Collector's Edition mostly for the book, the making of book. And ArenaNet have been releasing some cool blog posts about that as well. If you look on their blog, it will tell you a little bit about the book, and it will tell you a bit about the statue. So I did get Collector's Edition, but what this means is, for me in the UK, you have to go to that. They only have one supplier of the Collector's Edition for pre-purchase in the UK, right? So if I wanted my beta key and all that, I'd have to pre-purchase. But because it's a physical item I'd bought, you don't get like a digital key that people who bought Digital Deluxe got, like say if you'd ordered off of the ArenaNet website. So it was a little bit different for me, and anyone that did that and bought off of Xavi had to wait until Xavi themselves sent them essentially a game case with Guild Wars 2 written on it that inside has got the codes. And I, well, not this morning, but I woke up at like 3 o'clock today. But when I woke up, it had come in the post. It's fantastic. So literally right here I've got it, Guild Wars 2. Collector's edition pre-purchase. I mean, it almost feels like I own the game. I know I don't really. This isn't a game, and all it's got is a code in it. But it's cool. It's just like a normal PC game box. It's awesome. And I haven't really taken much time to look at it. If it was possible for me to play, I suppose I could have done this post-commentary. But I've been doing too much post-commentary lately. But yeah, if it was possible for me to play and like talk you through the box and do like a commentated talk about what it says on it. Enter the ever-changing fantasy world of Tyria, where you control the story and action, and your actions shape the world around you. Play the way you want, with action-oriented combat, deep personal storylines, epic dynamic events, world-class PvP, and no subscription fees. Guild Wars 2 is the future of online role-playing games. It's got so much information on there. It's just I've been so excited today, and I know it's kind of stupid that I'd be excited today, but I am, and it's really, really awesome to actually have this in my hands. And something interesting about it actually is it's a PEGI 12 game, so that's like the age classification, which I hadn't actually heard ArenaNet like announce or anyone really talk about. This was something I talked about a lot though earlier in the Let's Play about like what rating they'd give the game, because as you all know, I was a big fan of like the storylines where you'd go into the Crystal Desert and you'd hear about, you know, the father having to kill his own children, and you read it off of his bones just so that, you know, they would leave the world without any more suffering, and people being preyed on in the night, and all that really dark stuff in Nightfall. And I really like that, and I would have loved more of that in Guild Wars 2. I think that's something that a lot of MMOs still haven't really tapped into. We'll have to see what the Secret World does, because that seems like it could go into that kind of thing more dark storylines. And obviously the age rating would affect that. It kind of does affect how ArenaNet could... Actually, mind you, what's Guild Wars 1's rating? And they still managed to slip those little things in. But, you know, those kinds of storylines weren't very prominent in Guild Wars 1, and I'm sure that there will be certain dark things in Guild Wars 2, but it's not going to be that prominent. So, I mean, you can imagine a version of the Guild Wars 2 storyline where people get into Ore to fight Zaitan, and, you know, it's very, very... They've lost all hope, and it's very, very dramatic and all very dark, and they've had to kill each other or whatever. You know, but that's just not going to happen with Guild Wars 2, and I guess this is just... finally confirmation that it's not, because it's a PEGI 12 game and they probably won't have too much really adult subject material in there, which, if you know me, I think is a bit of a shame. It's obviously not a deal breaker, but yeah, so it's just cool to be able to look at the case, man, and it's got all the stuff on the back, and oh, it's good. It's so good. And I'll actually register my key soon enough, but everyone I think is starting to get these things. So we'll hit this hidden switch. There's a lot of dialogue I still haven't read, so before I go in the middle, I'll read this. Your spirit is not... Hold on. Oh, God, I haven't read loads. Miku said, a long time ago, these halls and rooms were filled with the sound of laughter. How much things have changed. I hope that a life, at least, has been kinder to him. Your spirit is not worthy to be laid to rest here, among our ancestors. It's them, I don't... But by the orders of Minister Reiko, you'll put to death. They're scared of us. Miku says, part of me worries. A person's life can change in a day, in an instant. It's been years, and I wonder how much of that boy I knew remains. What has happened to him that has set him on this path? The Ministry Ranger says, we will lay down our lives if we must, for the safety of the survivor. It's the traitor, says an enforcer. How dare you show yourself here? I believed in you. But Minister Reiko has shown me that our faith was not misplaced. And we walk into the middle, and Miku leaves our party, and she says, Ashu, it's me, Miku. I've come to get you out of here, and to get you away from Reiko. And Ashu says, you? Stay back. Reiko warned me that you would try and come for me. She told me what you would try and do. Why should I want to leave with you? Reiko told me the truth. She told me that you left me that day. You left me to die, and you ran like a coward. Because, of course, he's not the only survivor. Miku's a survivor. She says, Ashley, that's not true. I thought I was the only one that survived. I found the others, but I never found you. And then the afflicted came again. I had to run. Everywhere I went, they were there. Running was the only thing I could do. I love this picture it paints of like how chaotic like Kaineng was when the plague like broke out, which you never really get while you're playing through factions, but looking back you can really imagine how it could have been. Miku says, I was young and I was scared. I'd lost everything that I'd loved. I never gave up hope that you still lived. I came back for you. You were scared? You were scared? Imagine how I felt, but it wasn't my fate to die. I'm destined for something more. Reiko has shown me that. She needs me. The people need me. They look up to me for hope. And here you would try to take me all that away from me? You're no better than the afflicted. And Miku says, Ashu, you can't possibly mean that. Very well. We will leave you to your prayers. I hope that the ancestors can grant you the clarity that it seems you have lost. And as you can see here, we've been attacked. That's because I stopped to read that dialogue. Now, don't worry if you're attacked earlier than this during the conversation. As soon as Miku has left your party, that is completion of the quest, and you're fine. And you even if you were to wipe later, it's not going to be a problem. I read on Wiki, sorry, that if you try to fight the groups that come in behind you, it's I think it even says the word. It says it's not possible to beat them because there's just too many. But I don't know. That wave just attacked me there, and there didn't seem to be too many of them. So I don't know how fast you really have to be. I mean, it's a longer quest certainly, but not a very hard one, because as I said, if you can beat 1 minute group of the Ministry of Purity, you can pretty much beat them all. I'd even go as far as to say that the actual mission, Tanakai Temple, in hard mode can be harder than what we just did. I honestly could, because in that you've got some engages with horrible bosses there, multiple groups, and you're against the clock. And that mission is just so poorly designed anyway, because it's got all of those statues and stuff. Oh yeah, that was something else I was going to talk about. So there are all the statues of the heroes of Kantha and stuff there, and that's all we really experienced of Tanakai Temple, guys. All that I wanted about being able to go see the Spirit of Togo, get his advice on what's going on here, somehow have him in the plot, all the really cool stuff didn't happen, so you don't get to see him there. We walk over. Miku says, I don't understand. What's happened to my family? I finally returned to Kantha after all these years, and my aunt pretends she doesn't know me. More than that, she manipulates the crowd into believing I'm a villain, and orders me killed. Why is she doing this? Why do they hate you, Miku? And she sighs. She says, my brother looked at me with eyes filled with fear, and something else. Something I can't quite place. He turned away from me. What's she done to him? Why? Because she's a bitch. His actions definitely weren't what I would have expected. Something was very... See, why have they spent so long in the previous bits of dialogue, but not that one? Ugh! Something very wrong has happened in the time that you've been away. I should never have ran, she says. If only I'd known. If I can't get my answers from Reiko or Ashu, then that only leaves Jinai. Jinai, who she's been mentioning for so long. He must know the truth, and I need to have it. But he's missing. Can you continue to keep an eye on the Ministry of Purity's movements? I'm certain Kaolin will be grateful for your assistance. I'll be back in touch as soon as I've learned something more. So, you might think that, oh, yeah, we get to do more filler quests with Kaolin now while we wait for Miku to do something else. I think the next few Kaolin quests, though, do extend quite significantly what the Ministry of Purity's next plans are. So, yeah, we did that whole assault and nothing came of it, pretty much. And it's funny that, why wasn't Reiko there? Did they just explain why Reiko wasn't there? It was just Ashu there, kind of interesting. But anyway, Miku says, I don't understand what's going on here. Something's happened to Ashu. I look at him and I only see a stranger's eyes, looking out at me from a familiar face. Reiko has done something to him, I'm certain of it, and I intend to find out what. If she has, so help me, my blades will deliver her the judgment she so richly deserves. She talks about Reiko having done something to him, like something tangible, rather than just sort of changed his views on the world. And I think it's a mix of both here. You can take it however way you want, but you will discover, and this isn't really a spoiler, Reiko is a mesmer. And I guess there's kind of a hint there that she's been manipulating his mind in some way, and maybe this is what Miku's thinking along those lines. But yeah, there you go. We get a gold Zaishin coin. Joy. Yay. What am I ever going to spend this for? Actually, these have been quite helpful. I had a few spare coins, and I've been using them to get skills and stuff on Tom because this account's so crap. But yeah, anyway, there you go, guys. I quite like this quest, I definitely do, and hopefully we'll like the ones coming up. I do have some problems with what they do coming up, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope if you also pre-purchased Collector's Edition, you're finally getting your codes and your game here. Game in inverted quotes there. But yeah, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. See you later.